one, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Where you at? Where you at? Like I said, I wasn't going to advertise. Just wanted to see who was going to do what they're supposed to do. Who got the assignment? I know who got the flowers. Now, what's so funny is I wish I could send that to everyone. Brothers like flowers too, ladies. So just throw that in the back of your consciousness. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Bada boom, bada bing. My mic sounds nice. Check one. My mic sounds nice. Check two. Are you ready? Okay. Where you be, people? I'll be here. And I am telling you, I'm not going. I'm the best guy that you've ever known. There's no way I would ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way. You're living without me. You just stuck with me. You're stuck with me. I ain't never gonna leave. And I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. Yes, you are. Is that confidence or arrogance? I guess it depends on the reciprocal. Huh? Yeah, if you reciprocate, it's confident. If you don't reciprocate, you might see it as the contrary or the latter. How's it going, people? I see a couple of people came in. Oh, okay. Look at my YouTube people. My YouTube people are like first up. I see 1, 2, 3. Come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Drop me some thumbs up. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you hear the sound of my voice when you show up. Some kisses. Show me some love. I got talking about my singing. Now I can really blow it if I feel like, but 9 out of 10 times I don't want to get distracted. There's a couple people that get the assignment. There's a couple people that get the assignment. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some love. Let me know. Say hello. Say good evening. Let me know that you're here. So, people, I had this show planned, I guess you might say, and see, this is the distraction. This is the distraction. When I try to behave, and my so-called Facebook family, they want to show out, act up, and act out, and make me act a fool up in here, go DMX. Okay, okay, all right. I got all these hyphenated names and carrying on. Hey, ma'am. So, I made a decision. I've been trying to integrate some different formats, and I'm not gonna do it because it's just too many things to too many balls in the air at one time. So, until my son can come down and get me squared away, I can come up with a plan B. I'm gonna stick with this format. But what I will encourage you guys to do is like my folks over on YouTube. I'm turning to my left because that's my monitor, my YouTube monitor, and I can see questions and comments, heavy on the comments being typed in. A couple people are saying hello, they get the assignment. So, once upon a time I used to do shout outs to people that came in. But sometimes I can't see the people on Facebook. I can see, and that's why I asked you guys to to kind of log in with some kisses and thumbs ups and some hearts or something to let me know that you're here and that you hear the sound of my voice. So before I even get going, I want to say my show that I intended to do is going to be abbreviated because there are things that are unfolding, and I know to some of you news junkies. Um, and let me digress for just a minute. I used to be a news junkie. I used to have MSNBC on one TV, and I had CNN on the other TV. And every now and then I would toggle back and forth just to see what Fox was saying. Um, Not that I was trying to give them love or anything, but I think it's important to know what the opposition is saying. So yeah, yeah. I had this show that I wanted to do about what's been happening here. There you go. There you go. Somebody that gets the assignment. I might mess around and bring you up, see if I can bring you up on camera. Some of the people that's on Facebook, when you log in and what have you, I get an opportunity to see you. Otherwise I don't find out that you're there until after the fact. So there you go. Show me love, show me love. You can't hear? What do you mean you can't hear? You better check that Obama phone. Okay, sound check. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. No matter where you are. I can't. This spinners has been stuck in my head for the last 2 3 weeks, and I think it's because I'm going through this what I call this culture change. I'm trying to get back in the gym, and I'm trying to do that, and I'm doing some other things. Okay, so okay, you're in both places now. You can hear now. Can you hear the word that coming out of my mouth? Okay, I can sign a little bit. I had a sign language merit badge when I was a Boy Scout. Okay, learned some things. Then I'm working at National Naval Medical Center in Bethesda, and somebody said I dropped names, but no, it was the fact that I was honored to work with some notable people, and one of those people was the former Surgeon General, Joycelyn Elders. And I think she kind of took to me because I kind of reminded her of her son. Now, if you know anything about her history, her son has had some challenges with different things, and I won't even elaborate, out of respect for the lady. But she was really brilliant. With National Naval Medical Center being a naval hospital and public health being part of that Department of Navy, if you will, those guys were right up the street. So they used to come into the hospital. So we had public health down the street, we had NIH across the street, we had FDA and some of those places right up the street in Rockville going into Gaithersburg. So we would get this onslaught of notables, if you will, and a lot of times they interacted with me. I was put on this committee. Shout out to my mentor Hank Adams. He was Admiral Select when he left, but I'm sure now he's probably I know he was leaving to be chief of radiology at some hospital in Cleveland, and I really should look him up and say, thank you for how he guided my career while he was at NNMC. But long story short, he put me on this committee, if you will. And at the time, I think I was probably 29, 29. So I had been there for about a year and a half or so. And I wind up being on this committee with all of these people that have PhDs in these high powered jobs and select service and the, like the federal attorneys and all of this. And here I am, this little peon nobody, you understand? And I'm sitting there. And what I realized was something my mom's used to say to me. She says, you know more than anybody, but you certainly know less. So said all of that to say this. I was not intimidated being on the committee, but being in the role that I was in, I thought it best to observe and not speak as much. But I guess some things were so notable that it showed on my face. And I'm sitting, ironically, right next to Surgeon General Elders, Dr. Joycelyn Elders. And she turned to me and she says, she looked at my name tag and my little nameplate, and she says, Mr. Batiste, you have something you'd like to share? I said, no, ma'am. I say, and I just think it'd be best if I just observe. She says, well, you weren't brought here to observe. You were brought here to bring fresh ideas. Some of these people have been together for years. And I could see the interaction and at times discourse going on with these people. And finally, I said something, and she said, okay. So as we adjourned, she pulled me to the side. She says, I want you to do something for me. And long story short, she had me to start a program for young kids that wanted to get into the medical field. And I came up with what was called a shadow program, where I basically brought these high school students into the hospital and they got to shadow or follow people around that I thought was good at what they did, be it different areas of nursing, different areas of radiology and administration and the lab and some of these things, because all people really knew at one time was doctor and nurse and what they saw on TV, Marcus Welby or emergency or, some of these things that was on TV in the emergency room. So they didn't know about, labor and delivery. They didn't know about pediatrics. They didn't know about some of these other areas. So I put this program together, and to help them, I was teaching anatomy and physiology to these high school students. Now, what's crazy about this is some of these kids were really, really sharp. And I used to make jokes. I say, I feel like an old gunslinger. And every time I try to hang up my gun, I get some young whippersnapper in here who wants to show me how fast he is. And I have to just kind of graze his wrist to let him know that I still got skills. The first year I started this program, we had about 6 people. The second year, we had over 25. And we was trying to find places. We had this small classroom that we were dealing with. And we moved into this larger classroom, but the challenge was there were like pillows. There was 2 pillows in the class. I don't know who designed this. Why would you put pillows in the classroom in the middle of the classroom? So there was this kid that was sitting behind the pillow, and he came in with this woman. I could see the kid because as I was lecturing, I would walk back and forth. Now I was using emergency, no, ER. Remember the drama with George Clooney and what's his name? Soul Glow, Dr. Peter Benton and young um, I- John Carter. So I used that, and I would pick 2 kids, and I would make one Dr. Benton the attending, and I would make the other the resident or intern. And so I'm talking about this, and at first this kid was looking at me, and then he started looking off in the distance. I saw the woman walk out of the class. So I look at the kid and I say, "Hey, Tupac, all eyes on me." The kid didn't respond. So I say, "Yo, Mini Thug, Tupac, Shakur, all eyes on me." So he still didn't respond. And I walked up to him and I said, "Can you hear the sound of the words that's coming out of my mouth?" And this kid started to laugh. And like most other teachers or instructors, I took it personally. So I started to get angry and I said, "What's so funny?" And it took every ounce of restraint on my part to not say, "What the hell is so funny?" You know what I'm saying? So I said, "What's so funny?" He said, "I'm deaf and you can't sign." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So I said all of this because when I just did this, I hope that someone looking at this video realizes that I can sign letters and some things, but I can't, you know, I can't sign. I can't speak that fluent in sign language. So with that being said, we've got, whoo, I've been talking for a minute, huh? We got about 10, 15 minutes past the half, so I'm gonna go ahead and say good evening, welcome to the show. As I was telling you, the show that I had planned has been hijacked. Why? Because if you're a news junkie, you found out that Donald Trump was just indicted. Now, in the interim, I've received 3 phone calls, and I try to ignore my phone when I'm prepping for the show. But some people are just so damn persistent, and I'm watching it on CNN. Now, usually, what happens is I'll look the last half hour before I come on air. I'll look at anything that breaking news or newsworthy so that I can mention it if I deem it necessary or important enough for me to bring up. And they kept bombarding me with these questions. Do you think he's going to be indicted? If he this, I say he's already been indicted. The next step is for him to be arraigned. And I'm listening to the process. And the process is there are 36,000 police in New York City. All of them, as of tomorrow, are being forced to show up in uniform. Now, you've seen a million cops and robbers movies just like I have, and you know it's not that hard to get a uniform if you are doing something or you want to do something that's less than the right thing to do. So I'm watching this and I just wanted to kind of take a minute to explain the process. He's been indicted already. The indictment or what he's being charged with has not been made public. So it's still sealed. The next step is he will be arraigned. Now, these things, this indictment is going to be sent to his attorneys, the defense attorneys, and they will more than likely. This is my opinion. This is not fact. Let me state this. This is my opinion. Knowing Trump, he's already said that this is anti-government and this is the district attorney. The greatest day in American history and blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, where were you when the rest of America? Oh, that's right. You were clapping and cheering them on while the rest of us was saying, what the hell is happening on the U.S. Capitol? So the next step in the process is him being arraigned, which means he's going to be arrested, formally arrested, and he will have to appear before a judge and magistrate. It'll be a judge, and it will read to him the list of charges, make sure that his rights have been explained to him. He understands his right, and that he has counsel, uh, an attorney that he's comfortable with. So that's what comes next. From what they were saying, there are all of these underground tunnels heading to the courthouse, to and from the courthouse. So they expect this to be somewhat of a smooth process. In the back of my mind, I'm saying to myself, do they not remember that half of the 10,000 or more domestic terrorists who attempted a coup d'etat to try to overthrow the government, do they not remember that half of them were either military or law enforcement? No, no, okay, maybe not half, but certainly about a quarter of them, and some very prominent people to speak of. So stand by. We'll see what happens. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Stand by, stay tuned. If you're not a news junkie, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna be inundated and super saturated with this news in the next couple of days. Especially, he's gonna be brought to New York and this, that, and the other. They're speculating. The pundits are speculating that it has to do with Stormy Daniels and payoff monies and misuse of um, campaign funds and some of the other things. There's so many atrocities that this man has committed that um, it's like playing Wheel of Fortune with all of these things on there. She says she'll rejoice when he gets sentenced. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Um, though his followers have dwindled somewhat, his followers, his Trumpsters, his Trumpers, his Trumpies, his Trumpsters. You can't hear me? Oh, dang. They say they can't hear me on, what the hell? I can't get no rest.